biggest like project of law you're currently working on, if you're able to disclose that?
Yeah. We work in several different ways, and speaking about Client Earth's forest programming, let's say, one big part of the work that we do is working with local communities in a number of West and Central African countries, also in several Southeast Asia countries, and increasingly in South America and Central America as well, working with local lawyers, local civil society representatives, to work with them to develop legal proposals and build dialogue with government about laws and regulations that need to be passed so that local communities, so that indigenous people have proper legal rights to manage their natural resources. That's one piece, and we describe this as the long-term governance work. We also have a litigation approach. You know, my colleagues at Client Earth who work on the climate team are now currently suing Shell Corporation, for example, for its failure to meet its targets under the climate change framework. And we're looking at how similar kinds of cases can be brought with respect to biodiversity destruction, looking at the beef industry, the soy industry, the palm oil industry, and so on, and how we can bring legal actions to make them accountable for their actions and, most importantly, stop destroying the biodiversity.
And what is your end goal? Like, what is your role in this COP?
In this COP? Well, I think there are a couple of different things that we're trying to focus on. First and foremost, and several colleagues of mine here are focusing very deeply on the implementation mechanism. It's very nice to talk about, you know, the 30 by 30 concept, indigenous people's rights, and so on. There are a number of very, very important concepts, but the implementation mechanism is really the most important mechanism of all, because if you have a very nice standard, but you don't have a clear way to actually make sure it's carried out, that standard is meaningless. So the implementation is a process that has to happen in each national government and country setting, and we're trying to make sure that that is very clearly spelled out and can go forward according to very clear procedures. Other than that, there are a number of important things going on, and I'm sure you've heard about them over the course of this week. The 30 by 30 issue, indigenous people's rights, is extremely important. One that I've been spending a lot of time on myself is Target 15, which will require corporations to report on the ways that they impact biodiversity and in turn are impacted by biodiversity. That is extremely important to make corporations start to have the obligation to address biodiversity in their value chain and revenue streams.
Talk a lot about